I know nothing. What do I know? I have a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old. I didn't grow up with a lot of siblings that were younger than me. I didn't have a lot of cousins that were younger than me. So I'm not a person that grew up around a lot of younger kids, or like when I was 13, there were I had to babysit my 4-year-old. Like, it wasn't like that. God bless the PhDs. I listened to a couple podcasts just to see what kind of things are out there, and they're all great. So I thought, do I have to have a PhD to do a podcast? And so I got a PhD. I got my first PhD 4.5 years ago, when my first daughter Emmy was born, and then I got a second PhD 2 years ago when my second daughter Story was born. Both names came from my amazing wife. So I have the PhDs now. I don't know if that gives me any kind of accreditation or legitimacy for people to want to listen more to me. I don't know. But you know, I am a parent having daughters, you know, a PhD, parent having daughters. So stupid. But see, was always a big fan of dumb jokes before I was a dad. And now I have I'm not only allowed, I'm supposed to make dumb jokes, dad jokes. Anyway, so I'm a person having daughters, but I feel any accreditation that you have, you'll identify with a lot of the things I'm talking about. So if you're a PhB, if you have a PhB, a parent having boys, or parent having all genders of children. That's easy. Let's just do that. But all joking aside, as great as the PhD people are that have real PhDs and stuff, and they also have kids too, right? So they have their own personal experience, and they have their PhD experience. Listening to these, and again, whatever, the podcasts are great. If they work, they all sound great. But the problem is, then I get angry at myself for not being able to do that stuff in the moment. Why am I so defective and awful and suck as a parent that I get angry, make that angry face at my daughter? Of course, it's on a sliding scale. Some people are way worse and get more angry. Some people don't get angry at all. I don't know those people. That's how they describe it in all the books, the podcasts, all the stuff about parenting. So, is that I'm supposed to be calm and understand all this stuff, that she's a little 4-year-old, she's watching TV, her brain can only functions for so many things. The problem with that is it's as if I'd never been in a war before. And some of the people teaching me how to be in a war came into my living room, my warm living room with a beautiful fire in the fireplace, and there's nice music on, it's calm, it's quiet in there. And it's like, I don't know, they're really sweet, kind, nice people, and they're saying, okay, so here's what happens in a war. They're going to be people, and they put up little, I don't know, fuzzy, like those people that are into furries, whatever you call them, like fake people that are little nice teddy bears. And they're feeding me chocolate cake. And they say, okay, so you'll be eating chocolate cake. And then you're going to see some people, and they're going to be these furry people, and they're not your friend, maybe. So you say to them, hi, friend, I know that you don't feel like a friend to me, but let's try to figure out things by talking about it. And then we can find a common ground, and we can either learn to be friends, or if not friends, at least we can agree to disagree and have nice lives. It'd be like if that's how you learn to be in a war. And then they come the day you're supposed to go to war, and the real Marines grab you and put you in a Humvee or whatever and take you to the airport and fly you over, put a parachute on you, and hand you real guns, right? And they're screaming at you, go, 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 go. And you jump out of the airplane that you've never jumped out before. You have no idea what to do. They're like, pull the string. You're like, where's the string? I don't know where the string is. You're searching. You're falling down at 1 billion miles an hour. Earth is coming. You're going to slam on the earth. You're about to splatter to death. And you're grabbing at anything you can find. Finally, you find something to pull. You pull it. And the parachute opens. You're like, oh, thank God, I'm not going to die. I'm not going to die. But then you hit the ground really hard because you didn't pull it fast enough, and you break 2 of your legs. Compound fractures. Your bones are sticking out. You're bleeding out. you remember from like Boy Scouts or something, a tourniquet, so you rip and there's guns. People are running at you, firing now, and bullets are going, and you get shot in the one arm that you're trying to get the tourniquet on. And you rip a tourniquet and you wrap it around your bleeding legs. You can't walk. Luckily, when the people are coming to shoot you, but someone grabs you from your own side, a Marine, and they're firing, and they make the enemies duck down behind trees because they're firing at them, and they pull you to safety, and you're in it. And that's really what a war is like. And you're like, wait a minute. What I was taught a war is like is being in a beautiful living room in an old farmhouse with a beautiful fire, being fed chocolate cake by my beautiful wife, and the people I have to fight against are just nice big teddy bears. And we just talk about things. And the Marine is like, well, I don't know where you got that, buddy, but that's not what's happening here. As evidence of your two legs that have your femur sticking out of them and your right arm that's shot, you're bleeding out. And if you're lucky, you won't die today. And if we're able to patch you up, then we're going to send you back out there, and you're going to have to deal with those people coming with bayonets to stab and shoot you. That's what it feels like when I listen and read and talk about how to be a parent based on all the books and the podcasts and the stuff. I love my kids. Listen, I have a huge capacity for love and tapping into my emotion. I'll cry at like good commercials. I've always been like that. I have no problem tapping into my emotion. And so I always felt like I loved big, right? And I had a really good sense of how big that love for kids would be. And my friends would say, yeah, that may be true, Eric. Yeah, you have a big ability to get in touch with love, but even you don't have a clue of how much you will love them, of what the love's like. And I was like, oh, I don't know. And you know what? They're totally right. The love, I'm decent with words, and there's plenty of other people better than me at words. There's no words. I guarantee you. It's the biggest love. It's the most all-encompassing. I'll start crying right now just thinking about it, talking about it. The love that I feel for my kids and is so immense. So that's the headline. And that has to be the headline because biology made it that way, and whatever spirits you believe or don't believe in, if it's not biology, beyond biology made it that way, so that in those moments when they're screaming at 2 a.m. and they're infants and the screams are piercing in your brain like you want to die, that when that stops and they look at you and smile, that all washes away and you want to be with them and love them and take care of them. Because if you didn't feel that way, there'd be no humans, right? Because no parents would be able to handle it.